A lot of talk these days in the MMA world about boxing. One of the best to ever do it is Antonio Tarver. Mason the Line Dixon, you may recall him from the second to last Rocky film, if we're going to count the one with his with the young kid doing the right, but like the real last Rocky, in the ring film. And he is still active, and he actually has a really interesting new connection to the world of mixed martial arts. So I wanted to talk to Antonio Tarver on the program today about that and a whole lot more. He joins us now on the phone. Antonio, are you there?
Yes, I am. How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Oh, it is a pleasure. Wow, this is really cool. Longtime fan of yours from way back in the day, and I'm not trying to date you or I, but it's really cool to have a boxing legend on the program here. So let's cut to the chase. Of course, you're still active in the world of boxing. I know you have aspirations, but you're now tied to the world of mixed martial arts. Tell us what you're doing.
Oh, man, it's been a process in the making for some time, but Glenn Robinson reached out to me about, I'll say 3 weeks ago, man, and we sat down and we chopped it up. And the next thing you know, I'm the head strike coach for the MMA Blackzillians out of Pompano Beach, Florida. And it's exciting, man. I'm glad to be working with these guys. And it shows me that there's still something there for me to make I think a big splash and impact on. And I never knew it would be MMA. I thought it would be the heavyweight division, but it is what it is, man. And it's like right now I'm just following my dream and footsteps of just doing what I know I can do. And that's really helped fighters, man. I think when I look back at my career, I've always seen myself in this position. I just never knew it would be MMA rather than boxing, but it's still the same thing. I think I have a great opportunity here to really make a difference in these young men's lives and help them reach their goal and pinnacle of becoming champion and really getting the success out of their career. And, not only showing them and teaching them the sweet science, but really also just giving them the confidence also, because I've been there, I've done it at the highest level. When you look at 5-time champion and some of the biggest nights in boxing, there's some things that these young fighters are just not going to be able to be aware of unless they go through it and experience it. So, to allow them to mentally approach the game and the fight the right way, I think goes a long way. But what I want to do is just create some very exciting knockout punchers, man, that really know the skill and the art of boxing. And, once I can incorporate that into their everyday, training and MMA training, it automatically makes them a more complete, overall, well-rounded fighter from the ground all the way, standing up. So that's what I want to see. I want to see more, and also want to help the Blackzilians become a more complete fighting team and a bunch of fighting machines.
How did you get in contact with Glenn Robinson or vice versa? How did this actually come about?
Like I said, man, I've been planting seeds my whole life. It was a seed that I planted about 3 years ago through a good friend of mine, JP, who was a confidant of Glenn's. And, JP brought me to the Blackzilians gym at the time, and I met all the guys then. And they were doing a television show at the time, and I had a segment on there where I was, just trying to show them a few of my tricks and everything. It was real cool, man, and I appreciate Glenn opening the door for me. And it wasn't until like 2.5 years later that I got the phone call into Texas. And, I'm not totally aware of their personal situation, but the great, the original strike coach that they had, I think his name was Henry or Harry, I'm not mistaken.
Henry Hooft. Henry Hooft, yeah.
Henry, right. So, they needed the position to be filled. And, man, for Glenn to really consider me, it speaks volumes on, the relationship that we built and the confidence that he has in me to make a difference. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. He wouldn't bring me in if he didn't feel that I can make a difference and make it and allowing his fighters to become better fighters, better strikers, and all around much better competitors. So that's the goal here, is to create champions and to create superstars in the world of MMA. And, I think I'm up for that job.
As you know, MMA, boxing, two different sports. And one knock on MMA fighters in the past has been that they lack basic boxing skills. You know, they don't use their jab effectively. They don't move their head. They don't move their feet the right way. What have you seen thus far from the fighters as far as their boxing skills are concerned? Do you think that there is truth to that?
Of course, there's truth to that, but at the same time, that's something that it's not anything that they can't learn. But you have to be taught, and that's the key. You have to be taught. It has to be someone that can get through, someone that has great communication skills, someone that's passionate about what they're doing. And man, I feel like this: if you're taught and trained by a winner and a champion, how can you lose? I mean, that's point blank period. How can you lose? I mean, so my thing is this: I'm going to let these fighters know what it takes, and I'm going to see who really wants it, because it's all up to them. You know, I can teach them everything I know, but it's up to them to execute and carry it out. But I'm going to give them the weapons, and I think I've made a difference so far. And just a few times that I've had an opportunity to work with guys like Claxton, who I think is going to be a real shining star in the MMA sport, in the MMA world. And Yuri Vorford, I believe he's fighting coming up, and Walter Gazada has a world championship fight in England. I've only really had an opportunity to assess these guys the last 2 weeks. Now, this week we're going to want to really take a look at a few guys and do some one-on-one training and really, hone in on the things that I think I can tweak and things that I think I can improve them on. And it's all about the skill of boxing, the sweet science, and just really letting them know that it's a certain way and the right way to do things. And, my whole thing is this: just because, we're fighting or in a fight doesn't mean I necessarily have to absorb punishment. And there's longevity that I've been blessed with, and it's because I think I've learned the game of boxing the right way. I've had some of the great trainers, some of the great coaches, and myself, I believe I'm going to eventually be considered a great coach before it's over, and that's my goal, because everything I've ever done, I strive to be the best at, and I've done it. So this is just another arena that I'm just really running as fast as I can with, because God has blessed me with another great opportunity, and who knows where this can go. Now, but it's kind of, I'm in a catch-22, because I know I still can get it done, but I don't know what I'm doing now. I think my personal career is on reset at this time. It's just been so long, man. I've trained. I've had 3 training camps, full training camps, where fights have been postponed, pushed back, just canceled altogether. And it's been just too long, man. Almost 20 months now, going on 2 years. And sometimes you just have to look at the big picture and say, hey, boxing didn't retire me, because no one beat me at heavyweight. I never lost my title in the ring. But it's only me. It's only one of me. I cannot control anything outside of my body. And with that being said, there's energies out there and things that I can't control that, they got me blocked out. And come on, man. When you look back at the last 10 years, I've had some of the most unbelievable night in boxing. And for the boxing people that's controlling the sport to think that I don't have anything to offer still, I mean, it's just dumbfounding to me, man, that, I've been put on the shelf in a lot of ways. Come on. Okay, for instance, Bellew. Okay, Tony Bellew just had a great fight. He defeated his name eludes me right now. Who's the cat? David Haye. He just stopped David Haye. He's a big fight in the UK.
Yeah.
Come on, man. He moves up to heavyweight. Now, okay, who is he going to fight? Like, who is he going to fight now? He didn't win a title. He just had a good fight. He won a good fight over a guy that had been a champion but was no way in championship form that night. So he's still got a lot to prove, but for some reason they think he's won a title or something. And me and Tony Bellew talked a couple months prior to that fight with David Haye, and the man told me straight face to face, when he beat David Haye, he felt like a fight between him and I would make sense, because both of us starred in the Rocky movies. You know, he was Conan, I believe, and, you know, everybody know me as Mason Dixon. That makes sense. And with me being 5-time champion, with him having these big wins, come on, man. I just feel like I can never get the fight that can really, you know, really stamp my greatness on boxing. It's like, you know, these fights are continuing to elude me because I don't have a manager. I can go on record. I'm a free agent. I don't have a promoter. It's just me. I don't have the backing or the support, you know, because I had worked long years with Al Heyman, you know, ever since '04, and we didn't, you know, we felt like we had gone as far as we can go together because I just wasn't getting the opportunities. And I just worked too hard, man. And, you know, I still work hard every day at this age. And it's like for them not to even believe in me or giving me a chance to fail. You know, a lot of great fighters have been knocked out. I just haven't been one of them. And, you know, let me go out on my shield if that's what it takes. But I believe, man, like nobody else in myself and my abilities, you know. And, you know, I just don't look at size. I don't look at power. I don't look at all that because I personally know that boxing is much more than that. You know, and what makes a great fighter is not his physical attributes. It's what's between his head. And when I look at that, I'm like, okay, I feel like this, man. You know, just like I told the world that I would beat and knock out Roy Jones, I didn't say I would knock him out after the fight. I said I was going to knock him out prior to the fight.
Right.
And we're talking about the Floyd Mayweather of our times, no matter what nobody says.
Mm-hmm.
So I've already did the impossible. Shit, I knocked out Superman. So you think I care about King Kong or Godzilla? Shit, I done already did it. So all I want to do is repeat it so that I can tell my story and I can take my rightful place amongst champions. But for some reason, I can't get no push or no momentum to even get back in the ring. And that's what's really leaves a bad taste in my mouth about boxing.
So are you accepting this job as Blackzillians coach because you have retired from boxing?
I'm accepting this job with the Blackzilians because I possibly have had my last fight.
Okay.
I possibly have been in the ring for the last time because I can get no support to allow me to get back in the ring and then, you know, either win it all or try my damnedest, you know, either write my last chapter or rewrite the whole fucking book. And that's it's going to be one way or another. Or let me go out on my shield like the great champions before me. And if I feel like if I retire today or tomorrow, my career is unfinished and unsatisfied because I didn't go out like I know I can go out. I was forced out. I was pushed out, and I was locked out. And that's how my career ended. If it is the last time you've seen the Magic Man in the ring. But who knows what tomorrow brings because, like I said, I can put together the right team that has the vision and that believes in me, and we can go out here and make it happen all over again. But I thought I had that team. It wasn't to be. And now I'm in a process of resetting. And you know what? I'm accepting the fact that if it is the last time I fought, then, hey, I can truly say that there's only really one man that beat me, and that was Chad Dawson. He happened to be 14 years my senior in a weight class I had overgrown and outgrown 6 years prior to. And so, you know, 20 years in the game, I've never been cut, never been on my back in a boxing ring, and never been knocked out, and they want to force me out the game of boxing. And it's ridiculous. And I'm one of the biggest face, you know, and one of the most, biggest personalities in the game, but I just don't have no support to push me to that and give me that opportunity. I can't do it on my own. Everybody knows that. But like I said, I'm still putting seeds in the ground and hopefully they grow just like this seed grew 3 years ago.
Right.
So, you know, I'm going to just keep planting those seeds, man, like I've always have and continue to stay ready. But Tony Bellew, we got a big fight right now. A big fight right now.
As you may know, on Saturday, everyone was talking and watching Joshua Klitschko, and not that long ago, you were talking about wanting to fight Anthony Joshua. What's it like for you to watch 90,000 people come together in England to watch a heavyweight fight? For the longest time, people are saying the heavyweight division is dead, it's irrelevant, and here we have 90,000 filling up Wembley Stadium. What are you thinking when you're watching that? And if I may, what were your thoughts on the fight itself?
Oh, man, I was excited, man. I mean, my voice is actually hoarse because of it.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I'm still trying to get my voice back. It was an incredible fight, man, because, you saw the great Klitschko, who's, for the last 10, 15 years has been the man on top of the hill. And you see both guys are Olympic gold medalists. You see a guy like Anthony Joshua. I feel like, man, I should have been commentating that fight. Basically, I felt like I could have gave something to that fight from the commentating spot. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I think the things that I see, I don't think nobody else can see, and how I respond to things and how I see things happening right before it happens. I don't think anybody out there has that knack. But for some reason, I can't even get commentating jobs anymore. I don't get it, man.
What's happening?
I know boxing. I was always told that boxing is all politics, and but I never believed it until I see it. Now I know it's all politics, man. And but not to take anything away from the great Anthony Joshua, it's his time now, man. And I think he's going to do some big numbers when you look at what he's already done. And to be 18-0 with 18 knockouts, man, is incredible. I mean, I think we're watching greatness right now. And I think everyone needs to really, soak that in. And so he's the man on top. He deserves everything he gets. And I'm just proud to see that the heavyweight division is cracking again. But I'm nowhere to be involved. And, that's the bittersweet, in my mouth. But, like I said, he's an awesome fighter, unbelievable. He's intimidating. He's big. I mean, he's powerful. But like I say, when I look at him, of course, to beat Anthony Joshua, if I'm thinking about myself,
right? I
mean, I couldn't get hit with nothing serious. I would have to be on my best game, and I would have to land the perfect punch, to shock the world. And if anything less than that happens, then shit, I can go out on my shield and say, you know what? I fought them all, and I did. I think I was very successful when you look at my career. But I mean, can I see that fight happening? I don't think so, man. Because I had a relationship with the biggest, broker in boxing, and nothing happened for 2 years. So, I don't know. I can't really speak on it. But like I said, man, Tony Bellew, he can get it. Mm-hmm. Any heavyweight can get it. I was training 3 months for Gerald Washington. And when Wilder's opponent pulled out, they inserted Gerald Washington, an unproven heavyweight that ain't never beat nobody, ain't never won nothing. The dude, a football player, and he get more consideration than a 5-time champion, Olympic bronze medalist, and a legend killer. He get more consideration for that fight than me. So, I don't think it's anything I'm doing. I just think that it's just the sport right now is really trying to push the old guys out and trying to set it up for these young guys who haven't really, outside of last night, the other night, Joshua, he was just all, I think, marketing, all hype. He had the Olympic gold medals, and with the heavyweight division being so depleted, and when you're looking at Tyson Fury and, we got, Klitschko, but Klitschko didn't look great his last fight. He looked much better against Joshua, but his last fight against Tyson Fury, man, I didn't know who the hell that was in there. And Tyson Fury running around like he done did something. He beat Klitschko in the worst performance of Klitschko's career, and he's running around here like he did something. I felt like in the rematch, the fighter that Klitschko was against Anthony Joshua beats Tyson Fury all day.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Antonio. I'd be remiss if I don't ask you about Conor McGregor fighting Floyd Mayweather. Do you think Conor has a shot to shock the world and beat Floyd Mayweather?
Not a chance in hell.
Why?
Not a chance in hell.
Why?
Because Conor McGregor can't beat the top 20 in the division. How the fuck he gonna beat Floyd Mayweather?
Puncher's chance?
Not a fucking chance in hell, because he's not punching with those 4-ounce gloves on. He's punching with 10-ounce gloves on. Big difference.
Do you think it's a mockery that they're trying to make this fight happen?
It's a money fight. I don't know if it's a mockery, but it's a money fight.
Okay.
And that's what it's all about.
Do you think Floyd knocks him out?
Conor McGregor can't beat he can't beat Nate Diaz in a boxing match.
Wow, you think Nate Diaz beats him in a boxing match?
In a boxing match, he'll beat his ass. And a whole lot of other fighters out there beat his ass.
Damn. No love for Conor.
Match,
Do you think
in a boxing match?
Yeah.
Unless there's one asterisk by that.
Okay.
Unless Conor McGregor can get with someone like Antonio Tarver that can show him what it's going to take to compete, not beat, but to even compete with a guy that's a boxing genius like Floyd Mayweather.
So even if he signs up with you, he just competes. He doesn't even beat him.
No. He'll know what to do to win. He'll know what to do to win.
Okay.
I can train him on what to do to win, because he don't even know what to expect.
Wow. Do you think
when he's talking about fighting a guy like Floyd Mayweather in a boxing match?
Do you think Floyd knocks him out?
I think Floyd can knock him out, because Floyd is a boxer. He's not going to know what to do. He hasn't had the repetitions. He hasn't had the experiences. He don't know what it's going to take. Shit, he gets tired in a 5-round fight, even though they're going 5 rounds and they're wrestling.
Damn.
What the hell you think? What you think going to happen in round 6, 7 if it gets that far? When he's mentally fatigued and tired, because I've seen him in the octagon get mentally fatigued and tired. So he just needs to be taught.
Shorter rounds though in boxing.
How to expect.
Shorter rounds though in boxing, 3-minute rounds, 5-minute MMA rounds. So we have to take that into account as well, right?
What you got to take into account though, a lot of times, these guys are just wasting time too. I mean, boxing those 3 minutes are totally different than anything else in the world that you've experienced. So Conor McGregor, when he ain't got those 4-ounce gloves on, what's going to happen in round 7 when those 10-ounce gloves start feeling like a pound on each hand?
Right.
He's not used to that. He's not accustomed to it. So he's going to have someone in there that knows boxing inside and out to teach him the intricate parts of what to expect from Floyd Mayweather. Somebody that knows Floyd Mayweather inside and out, that knows the boxing game inside and out, that can equip him with the things that he needs to know to have a chance to shock the world.
By the way, Antonio,
it's going to take somebody special. It ain't going to take nobody just catching fucking mitts, looking cute on the mitts, because that ain't what it's about.
Wow.
It's about anticipating. It's about reacting, because sometimes you ain't even got time to think. You just got to react, and your reaction's got to be on point. So, Conor McGregor is going to have to go through the school of boxing in a short period of time. He's going to have to take somebody that can teach him properly, even just with his movements, even with the little things. He may not need a lot, but he's going to need the right thing. And I can't speak on it, but when they first started talking about that, he should have had the right person then, and he still can get it, but he can't continue to wait. He needs to know who he's going to be with, and he needs a consultant that knows the game inside and out and can teach him what to expect, what to anticipate, how to react on it, and stay in the game. Teach him how to punch, teach him how to make him miss and make him pay. Teach him a lot of good stuff that he's going to need to equip himself with. But I'm gonna see it because it's going to be entertainment at its finest. But as far as a competitive boxing match, I don't see that. I personally don't see that.
It's been very in vogue these days for MMA fighters and boxers to talk about super fights. We have obviously Conor and Floyd. There's a guy named Jimmy Manuel in our world who's calling out David Haye. Our next guest, actually, Anderson Silva, has been trying to fight Roy Jones for a long time. You beat Roy. Maybe you versus Anderson is the fight to make.
I don't know. I mean, my name ain't been coming up with nobody because, it's a good chance when the Magic Man show up, I'm going to make somebody else disappear. So that's what it is, man. But I'm all about entertainment, but I don't want this shit to get carried away.
Okay.
Boxing is boxing. Boxing is boxing, and MMA is MMA. Now, it's a unique opportunity with Conor and Mayweather, of course, and it's all about that bread. I mean, I wouldn't, if you were their managers, of course you would want that fight to happen. But, I mean, I don't know if it's going to do boxing. Is it really going to do boxing in service, or could it, be a Manny Pacquiao type of fight? And, as much firepower as Manny Pacquiao has, that fight was a dud. So what the hell Conor McGregor going to bring that Manny Pacquiao didn't bring?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm trying to think. I'm trying to put my head around that. And when you look at Manny Pacquiao and Conor McGregor and you think boxing, how far away are those planets?
Listen, Conor McGregor has made believers out of many doubters. I'm not going to be the one to tell him he can't do it. I'm sorry.
I feel you. But like I said, come on, man. When you look at Nate Diaz boxing Conor McGregor, that closes the show for me.
Yeah. That
closes it for me. There's just, come on, man. You're talking about A fighters versus D fighters. It's levels to this shit. I'm serious, man. It's levels to this. Conor McGregor could possibly get hurt if he don't prepare himself correctly. It's a hurt sport. Mayweather is not a knockout puncher.
Right.
But Conor McGregor ain't getting hit by real professional boxers either. Guys that are.
Last thing for you, Antonio. What's the vibe like at the Blackzillians? They've had a lot of changes there. Coaches left, fighters left. You've been there, I know, a short amount of time, but you've been around a lot of gyms. Do you feel like there's a good vibe there? Do you feel like it's going to take some work? How would you assess it?
I mean, shit, those guys work hard, man. I came in and I kind of fit right in. I just have really been assessing the guys, but yeah, it's a winning mentality over there. And like I said, we're gonna do big things. We're gonna do big things, man, because these guys seem to have the desire and the dedication. And Tyrone ain't gonna accept anything less from those guys. Mm-hmm. And, Neil isn't either. And so when you look at the guy that's going to teach them the fundamentals of that stand-up game and to really be precise and sharp, you're going to see the difference. You're going to see the difference. And that difference is going to be a statement made that the Blackzillians is, we here to stay, and we only going to get better. Because they got me right now. We only going to get better. And I ain't never signed up to lose. So, I'm looking to make all those guys better fighters, all-around fighters. And I think that spells trouble for the rest of the MMA world.
Great stuff, Antonio. This was a lot of fun. Thanks for doing it. I wish you nothing but the best with the team, with the Blackzillians, and also with trying to re-enter the boxing space and get that respect that you're looking for. So really appreciate your time here today, and hopefully we can catch up soon and see how things are going with the team.
Thanks a lot, man. If you ever down in Pompano Beach, man, swing through. And you can shake hands with the Magic Man.
All right. I look forward to that. Thank you, Antonio. There he is, the Magic Man, Antonio Tarver, Mason the Lion Dixon from the Rocky film. Remember, Rocky came out of retirement, had this fight against Antonio Tarver, who was known in the film as Mason the Lion Dixon. That was interesting. You could see he really perked up when talking about the Conor McGregor fight. Everyone has a take on it. That's why it's the ultimate barbershop fight, right? Every single barbershop in this country, in this world, at some point we'll be talking about this fight. Someone will say they think Conor has a chance. Someone will say you're an idiot. They will all watch it, and it will break all kinds of records. And if it actually comes to fruition, it will be great for all involved. Everyone will be rich. And the UFC isn't doing this out of the goodness of their heart. They are doing it to get paid as well. They want this cash, even if they have to play nice with others. And it was interesting. I was listening to Chris Mannix's Yahoo Boxing podcast this morning, going to the studio on my commute, and he had an interview with the head of Showtime Sports, Steven Espinoza, and Steven said that in his opinion, and they have that relationship with Floyd, he said that in his opinion the negotiations were at a standstill. So what's going on? Last week we had Adi Attar, who's Conor's manager, say that they were trending in the right direction. It's not dead. You have Artem say, he's putting his career on hold because he wants to help Conor prepare for the fight. Conor is expecting to be a dad any day now, it seems. If you check out his social media, you'll see updates here and there on that front. And so maybe It's happening. Maybe it's not. Maybe we thought it was going to be easier. I don't know. But everyone has a take. And if you look at 2017 thus far for the UFC, even if they are sharing the pie, even if they are co-promoting, they still stand to make probably more money that night as far as pay-per-view, as far as gate, all that stuff. Of course, we have to consider how the breakdown is going to be, but there's a chance more so than any of their pay-per-views thus far. What timing Lorenzo Fertitta had, who just announced today Fertitta Capital, his new venture. They already have $500 million. I'm not very smart when it comes to that stuff, but they put out a press release. We have a article up on the site about it. What timing he had to sell the company. I mean, this guy is the most brilliant man in this world. To sell the company when it was at its peak, UFC 200, with MSG on the horizon, with Ronda's return on the horizon, 5 pay-per-views in 2016 alone did 1 million or more buys. Nothing's touching that thus yet, not even sniffing it thus yet in 2017. What timing? The greatest timing I've ever seen. I mean, we talk about buying the company for $2 million and then turning that into $4.025 billion. Forget about that. That's just great on its surface. But to know when to say when, to know when to hold them, when to fold them, when to say, all right, we're done, is a skill in its own right. That's how you become very rich. And at UFC 200, when this whole thing culminated, you still had, if you're buying this company, you're saying, wait a second, here's what we got. We've got Conor versus Nate 2 coming up. We've got MSG coming up. We've got Ronda coming up. We've got all kinds of things. This is very exciting. Let's buy the company. Now, 2017, not as many things. What timing? Unbelievable.